the truth about your city. Tell the truth about your city. Holy city, this is the holy city. Jesus reigns in Zion. Holy city, this is the holy city. Jesus reigns in Zion. In Charleston as in heaven. In Charleston as in heaven. In Charleston as in heaven. In Charleston as in heaven.
Hey,
Hey,
Mr.
Coleman,
Brown.
how you doing?
How are you, man?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good to see you.
All righty.
Thank you for coming out, man.
Sure, my pleasure, my pleasure.
And these steps look familiar too. We met right here, didn't we?
Sure, right. You know these steps, you ever heard of Connecticut brownstone? That's what these are, brownstone. There are a lot of brownstone that are in Charleston that came from Connecticut.
What?
And they painted over them. One of the officers was talking about removing the paint and letting the natural brownstone show. That's coming in the future. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're at Mount Zion
Yes,
AME,
Mt Zion AME Church.
and you serve as the
I'm
choir
the
director
organist.
here, right?
Yeah, organist choir master, and I wrote the history of the church. Along with a lady named Harriet Simpson, and her late daughter Alexis. They did the main portion of the history. I did from the ministers on down, and I augmented quite a bit the history. But the AME Church was founded in Philadelphia. Founded a man named Richard Allen. When he left out of St. George Methodist Episcopal Church and founded Bethel African Methodist Episcopal.
Okay.
Then a man named Morris Brown, who was the founder of Emmanuel AME Church. That's on Calhoun Street. But a shooting took place, Emmanuel.
Right.
And so he was the founder of Emmanuel, Reverend Morris Brown. He went to Philadelphia and was a major part of Richard Allen's new AME movement. Okay. And so Denmark Vesey, the famous insurrectionist, was the leader in the original Emmanuel. When the whites found that they burned the building down, and then they met and forbade them to meet anymore, but they met in secret until in 1865, when they reorganized and built a large wooden structure on where the present building is now located. Earthquake shook it down in 1892.
Wow, that church has been through a lot, hasn't
In
it?
1886, rather, 1886 when it shook it down. 1892 is when they built it back in its regular schedule. Now, before the earthquake shook it down, it was a regular wooden structure, and it became overcrowded. So to leave it to overcrowded conditions, Emmanuel, when it was a wooden structure, bought this building that was up for sale.
Oh, okay.
The pastor at the time was Reverend Norman B. Sterrett.
Okay.
And he had a white lawyer to help him intercede about buying this church.
Wow.
Because the whole process of getting this building was very secretive. The formal ceremony was on October the 15th, 1882. That's the third Sunday in October 1882.
Okay, so that's when the church is officially open, Mount Zion.
Was officially to be open. But the lawyer for Reverend Stedman told Reverend Stedman, you better get in this church as soon as possible. There was a Thursday when he gave Reverend Stedman the key. And he told Wednesday before the third Sunday, was 15th, he gave Reverend Stedman the key. To Reverend Stedman, you get in this church as soon as you possibly can. And because if you don't, they would place an injunction. They would place an injunction against you, and you will never get in. And so Reverend Stedman scheduled a meeting that next day, Thursday, and they marched from Emmanuel that Thursday and came in here. And the next day, they put an injunction in them, but they were too late. They were already in.
Wow! So the congregation actually marched from Mother Emmanuel
Those who were going to be a part of this one. Not all of Emmanuel came.
Right.
But all those who wanted to be a membership of this church to help it function and move on, it came and marched. I guess there were many who didn't. Who marched came just for the event, but they didn't actually leave Emmanuel. But there's so many of them who left Emmanuel and came here.
Right. That's something just to picture, man.
Yes.
Wow. And we're right here next to the College of Charleston campus. And I know I've always been curious, what is this church?
Yeah.
What's the history?
Yeah.
So let's go in and check
Let's
it
go
out.
in.
Let's
Coming in. Yeah, coming in. Now, what you see here, there has been a lot of changes. Due to all type of disasters, there have been lots of changes. In 1938, there was a large fire that damaged this building. And the fire started in the balcony. And so that's when they took down the organ and everything, and the choir loft was in the balcony.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And then these balconies go straight onto the wall and into the wall. Both of them into the wall.
Okay.
So after the fire, they just curved it there and ended there.
Oh, okay. Only after the fire. Wow.
That window is not. When we bought this church from Presbyterians, they would never have an image of Jesus in a window. They never. That's not their thing. That's not their thing.
I love that.
Yeah,
I told you the other day. I love that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, back to Emmanuel. When the earthquake struck down Emmanuel in 1886, they brought those pews from Emmanuel and placed them in the balcony. They're still in the balcony. Want to go up there?
Yeah.
In the balcony?
Yeah. Wow, I'd love to see.
Come on.
In Zion, in Charleston as in heaven, in Charleston as in heaven, in Charleston as in heaven.
So, lots of important people have been and are members to this day.
Yes. The families are still here.
Right. So this is such a family-oriented congregation.
Families are
So
still here.
tell me about the importance of family to this church and also to Charleston. Just the notion of family connected.
Well, it's the family that keep it all together. If you no families are here, do one is a single person, there may be a urge, tendency that you can go some other place and there would be no tight ties here. But we've had individuals who come and join, no big family, and they stay. They become part of the church family, and they just stay. And the spirit here is so nice, and to feel like though they are a member of the family of God at the church. Mt Zion stage, the pulpit, has always been the stage for concerts and everything.
Okay.
We had black orchestras, black ensemble, and they always played here. They played always at Mt Zion. And that spirit of classical music has always been a part of Mt Zion. The organist only organist I knew, the one that I knew of, played in Miss Knox. Big Latin lady, Miss Knox took her that long. But she could do organ pedal like nothing.
She was made for it.
And must be. Then that one was Mr. J. Michael Graves. And Mr. Graves was the organist, and then he became ill and he died. Then I was assistant organist under Mr. Graves, so I was an organist.
We are in the Holy City, right?
Yeah.
And you have a tour bus. You travel around. You direct the Gullah tours.
I call my Gullah tours. I speak Gullah. Gullah was the language. I was born and reared in the rural part of Charleston with my grandparents, and so it was recognized as a language ever since 1939. Did the father tell us anything about it? No, just made us think that we were speaking bad English. Being a tour guide, a black tour guide, I bring to light a lot of things that are not included in the repertoire of other tour guides. So like the history of the church, like I told you about the second black inspector of customs, And I have a book called A Color Guide to Charleston, where I included a lot of that stuff in it also. And Mt Zion is in the book, of course.
Right.
Yes.
So there have been lots of important people who come through here, lots of musicians too. So tell me about the sound of Mt Zion and
Now, the Song of Mount Zion,
okay.
they would never do any of that, the old unarranged Negro spurs that I just did, that I'm going to do. But it has become an art form. It would have been considered old and backwards and old and backwards. You don't do that type of thing at Mount Zion. And but we have grown to accept that it is now classified as a bona fide art form. Like, for example, the song called Old Ship of Zion. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. I can see my grandma, my granddaddy. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. They had no piano, nothing like that. 'Tis the old, they had to sing a cappella.
So
Ship of
the old Ship of Zion is the name of the song. So you're gonna sing that as a new song?
I'm gonna sing it as the original. I'm gonna sing it and as it was arranged Negro spiritual.
Right.
And we'll do it as gospel,
Okay.
and then transition to the jazz version.
And so we have our pianist here, Gabriel. He's gonna help you through this project here. So I'm excited to see where y'all navigate the ship. So we're gonna let y'all sing "Old Ship of Zion" with a little new history twist.
I can do it, make it a classical too, you know, classical with music and all that stuff, like an anthem, either all can do that. Okay. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. Get on board, Zion, get on board. It has landed many a thousand. It has landed many a thousands. It has landed many a thousands. Get on board. Get on board. Then they arrange, before I go to the gospel, they have the Negro spiritual arrangement of Negro spiritual. It sound like, 'tis the old ship of Zion. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. Hey, Mama Tabernacle again. 'Tis the old ship of Zion. Get on board, hallelujah, get on board, hallelujah, get on board. It has landed many a thousand. Has landed many a thousand. Get on board, children, get on board. And the gospel, they put instrument to it, and the gospel's out. You'll be excommunicated next week from the church.